What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, taking a look back at Raidraptors, but it is very, very different this time. I've kind of deconstructed the deck, brought it down to its most basic form, and I feel a lot happier because at the end of the day, Raidraptors is nothing but a rank 4 engine. You have to have Tri-Brigade. I was just playing that recently. You have to have Raidraptor stuff to get your combos going, but they're all really good combo pieces. But you can still dress the rest of the deck around it, where it doesn't just have to be, all Raidraptor combo starters, like, the Vanishing Lanius, all that kind of stuff that, normal summon. Hopefully you can summon out another one if that gets effect failure you pass turn. Trying to get away from that as much as humanly possible, and I feel like I've accomplished that. So you can see here, Quick Launch and Silver Rocket. These cards are all rank 4s, and they all search rank 4s. And also, if you open Quick Launch, you get access to 2 rank 4s without normal summoning. Because if you have 3 rank 4s on the field, you're full combo. But in here, I have even more than full combo. So I'm locked in dark to this point, but that's perfectly okay. I can go early into a Borreload Savage Dragon. So this is a new card. It's only 1 negate, but it is important, like for a Nibiru or something like that, because your end board is going to be absolutely crazy. So I'm searching all my pieces. I opened Nest, so this is like the ultimate opening. Obviously, it won't be perfect this perfect all the time, but I wanted to show you like the best case scenario. You can special summon like a Raider's Wing, and I may do a combo or test hand video on this. I'm pretty sure I actually will, just so you guys can get a better feel for what it's all about. I've kind of done it before. The combos are just a little modified because of cards like Borreload Savage Dragon. All right, so we can go into Verde Anaconda. Soul Shave. Basically, the only good dark target for rank 6 is the Vampiric Dragon. You can detach a material and then Book of Moon, a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, which doesn't always come up, but you do need it for what's it called? Did I banish it? Of course I did. Where is this card? It must be actually attached here. My bad. For the Strangle Lanius, because you need a monster that has dark exceed material, underneath it, which is this does, of course. But yeah, look how crazy this is. Like, this is about as much disruption as like one person could possibly need. An Omni Negate, 3 monster negates plus the pop, and a Book of Moon effect plus a Fog Blade. It's very hard to get through. Now, Super Poly obviously is very good, although like they gotta have a really good, like, they're probably gonna take out these 2, and you still have a pop, and then the 3 monster negates after. You still have the Book of Moon effect, which is really, really nice. And technically you have a Fog Blade, if there's a Dark Ruler no more. Forbidden Droplets is probably not good enough because there's not enough cards like in your hand to use Forbidden Droplets with, which is really nice. And yeah, so that was like the first kind of example. They surrendered, of course. I'll show you everything else. I have a lot of replays to go through. We'll start here with Evil Eye. Quick Launch again. Well, this is kind of the same opening. You have cards, free rank 4s, of course. Like, you don't want to make sure there's no synergy that goes against you. So I haven't normal summoned at all yet. We'll see like when I even need to. Maybe like I can normal summon a Raidraptor monster to get myself an extra rank 4 to go into this. And sometimes you can actually go through your combos, without triggering Tracer's effect until after you summon an Infinity, which is ultimately what you want to do. But here I think I just go through the regular Raidraptor stuff because now I have everything, of course. Because I want to go into Infinity, right? Because, the one that I showed before, that Book of Moons, that's a decent effect, but you'd rather have another Omni Negate, obviously. All right, here comes the nest. I can search, a Raider's Wing. That sounds pretty nice. And I can go into Rusty. You want to try to use this as exceed material, so maybe you can special summon it next turn. You don't want to have it banished. And here, in this case, I do. But sometimes you're able to avoid it, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to bring back a rank 4, go into Rebellion. Then I can go into Dragoon. And then I can use Infinity's effect to grab the Verde Anaconda, which is really nice. And yeah, this is like the normal Raidraptor combo, obviously. All right, here comes Terraforming. So now I know he's playing Evil Eye. It's obviously something I want to be stopping. He activates another of the field spell. Okay, I will just negate that. And I can go ahead and pop this, pop one of the back row, go into Requiem or something like that, which is really nice. Here comes, I guess, against a mill deck. Or a banished deck, it looks like, now that I'm really looking at it. I think he gives me 2 cards. This is like a really bad example. Like, I'm going to draw so many cards at this point. So, obviously, like, I'm in a pretty good spot. Although, like, it's crazy I didn't draw into any monsters. Like, pretty much the only cards left in my entire deck are monsters, which is pretty funny. But, yeah, I already had, like, so many cards. I can normal summon this, and this is where I think I try to hold on to the Tracer as long as I can, because I already had the nest, obviously. So yeah, this is obviously more than enough that I'll ever need. Okay, so we can go into the Y-Strix, where Y-Strix can search the, the Raider's Wing is usually what the target is. I used to do Zephyros, but it's kind of bricky, to be honest with you. You never want to draw it, so why not take it out? That's what I've tried to do. I've tried to take out as many bricks as humanly possible from what I was, normally doing. All right, there we go. See how I went into Infinity and the Borreload Savage Dragon? This is like an even better end board for the most part than the first one that I had showed you, which was still obviously very good. All right, so now I can go into Strangleanius. Strangleanius can bring back a 4. And these can go into Rebellion, and I can just, attack. I was obviously going second here, so this was like way more than enough for lethal. I can keep negating. This probably should have negated first with Infinity. Whatever. It's the end of the duel, so can't. No use in crying over spilled milk. Here's Plunder Patrol. Looks like they're going first, and I run Designator Cross, and I'm sure it'll show up at least one. So there's a lot of targets there. And if you draw your cross out designator targets, they're just hand traps. It's not like they're bad cards in your deck anyways. I have Kaijus. I've kind of taken those out actually for more play starters. Here it looks fine, but other times like, wow, I wish I had another card in my hand. And that's really the biggest change I've made in the deck is like I focus less on going second and more on because if you try to like focus too much on going second, then your hands are inconsistent. Like consistency is 100% king in Raid Raptors, which is definitely the whole point. Like you need to be able to at least do the thing that you do well every single turn. Otherwise, like why are you playing the deck? So he's going to go ahead and banish, which is totally fine. I can still combo through a lot of extenders here. And there we go. I'm locked into darks, but no biggie for sure. Tons of good dark monsters, of course. And I still have access to a rank up spell, which is probably the most important thing. Although I'm not even going to be able to use it here, but I am throwing my bricks out of the deck, like all the Phantom Knight stuff, and that I feel like I'm putting myself in a much better position here. And this was going second too, of course. So this is like working through disruption. I have an Omni Negate coming up. I do have the Infinite Impermanence too as follow up, but yeah, like that I'm pretty happy with what I was able to come out with considering the situation. And some of these are going to be random because I'm just able to go through the full combo. Leerless Tri-Brigade, literally one of the best, decks of the format, although I'm sure they're running a bunch of hand traps, so they didn't draw into. Wow, looks like they're trying to really play around, triple tactical talents, which is pretty cool. And also, now I can't think of the name. I'm running a Crossout Designator, excuse me. But, considering they're not going to draw into a Dark Ruler no more, that's it. Like, unless you draw that, you are most likely not going to be beating this deck because of how many negates are being put out on the board. There we go. Rusty's effect to send, the cloaks. Cloaks can give me the boots. Boots is a free special summon. And now I can use Strangleanius effect, special summon a 4. That way I can use, the Raider's Wing 4, rank 4, so it doesn't get banished. Like that's what I was trying to say earlier. And we're set up really well, especially because of the Infinite Impermanence. I may actually not end up even setting it, just in case like they blow up the back row and there's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, that's not going to do it, which is nice because like that's an end board big enough to beat, pretty much one of the best decks of the format. And here's a synchro deck, of course. So it's like combo versus combo. Who will win? I'm pretty sure there's a match, and I think the other duel's in there. Okay, so they're going to Effect Failure pretty much the right time. But that is the power of Dragoon. Like, literally made this person surrender after, like, using, their hand trap, which is, like, really, really good to have that kind of follow-up play. Like, they're obviously, the Phantom Knight stuff and the Red Eye stuff, and really some of the Raid Raptor stuff causes a lot of bricks in your deck, but they're necessary evils for the strategy. It's not like this is meta anyways. But yeah, that's kind of the idea behind it. Because, like, otherwise, if I was playing regular Raid Raptors and I didn't have that in there, well, I probably would have lost the duel because this is combo for him. More random here. This is insane. Anytime you see quick launch and mimicry in your opening, like you're doing so well for yourself. Anytime you open up 2 dragons plus like basically any 4, like that's it. Like you've pretty much dominated the duel at that point. You're not gonna lose very often. Are they playing Super Poly in here? This is a Dark Magician deck. No, they don't even really have an out. It's going second, so they did have the Fantastical Dragon Phantasme, but yeah, that's That is not going to do much for sure. Okay, so I'm probably going to be able to go into Borreload Savage Dragon. I just have to wait. And most likely I'm going to go ahead and pop with Tracer at some point to, you know, now that I don't really care. Yep, there goes a Savage. Although I think I even... pretty sure I did have that target in the deck. Which is fine, because I still had full combo. Right, like, it's like, oh wow, this is bad, right? No, this is Omni Negate, it's a pop. Omni Negate, all good stuff. 6 Samurai, and there we go. There's Crossout Designator. We'll see if they... well, I guess they cannot use it, but there's actually a lot of cool, interesting things you can do with Designator. I'll show the deck profile for this pretty soon. I am messing with it, so it's not a perfect science just quite yet. But in the side deck, I actually run a lot of like going second targets, like Imperial Order is like one of the targets I would side into the deck. Like that's how important it is, like of a card. That's one of them. Summon Limit, I'm pretty sure, is another one that I have, because otherwise you just lose. And like technically that is an out, which is really nice. Alright, Heal Eagle is really nice. Like there's so many, like the deck for sure that I know like that I'm going to keep is that there's a bunch of 1-ups for Raidraptors, because they all search each other, they all special summon each other, and they're all just extenders. And if you draw them, it's like, wow, okay, I just have this extender that I don't even need to search later on in the turn. And yeah, here we go. Back again with the Dragulus, the Vampire Dragon, just so I can go into stuff like this. It's not like this is a horrible card. And also, if it's taken off the field, you get to special summon it in face down position. And if it's flipped up, you send a card on the field to the graveyard. Non-targeting removal, like this is pretty like a sticky monster, which is, you know, definitely, it is what it is. It could be worse, no doubt. All right, we'll go ahead and Ash there. It was a cross-out target, but yeah, I get to use it. I still have like pretty much all my disruption. I'm gonna go ahead and pop a card. You're gonna try to go into a different dimension. I'm just gonna destroy it, so he loses 2 cards here in this interaction. There goes a Nightmare Unicorn. I will go ahead and negate with Requiem. Still have 2 negates with Requiem. Still have the Omni Negate. Still have the Fog Blade. Still have this. Yeah, so I was way ahead. Here is Sky Strikers. Okay. And I have a Nibiru here. And my 2 bricks. So this looks like a bad hand, but it's not. Like I said, Quick Launch plus any 4 pretty much gets you where you need to go. Okay, so he's got the Shark Cannon. He's going to search the Engage. So I got to do something really quick, or else like this duel is going to be over. Alright, I can activate the Boot Sector Launch. And he goes to Chain Effect Veiler. I guess to maybe force that out of me first. I don't know. But I'm going to be doing okay for myself without a doubt. You know, the Y-Strix can come down. Summon Mimicry so I can search the, you know, Raider's Nest a little later on there. And I'm going to go ahead and set the Soul Shape Force. He should have activated Shark Cannon before this, but yeah, it's too late. Maybe trying to get rid of my Force Strix target with the Soul Shape Force, but unfortunately for him, I go into 2, like for any normal combo, so it's not like I'm not going to have that in there. I'll go ahead and use, you know, one of the Rusty Zones, activate Soul Shave, go into U, that way I can pop the Shizuki, or the field spell, get him another monster to his field, so I can just destroy it, because I'm going to have Dragoon. And if I activate Dragoon, like both of these are dead, like 3,000 right here, because they can't, you know, change out. Like the zone points to me, so like basically he shouldn't have summoned these out for the most part. I'm just gonna blow through his defenses like really hard there. Here's Tunes. I don't know, like I haven't played Casual in a long time, and I love playing Casual. I just feel like it's a very nice way to play the game. And I haven't shown some of these decks in a long time, and it's cool to showcase them. When you play meta, you know, you're playing kind of the same 5-6 decks, which is not bad. I think the format's actually pretty nice right now, but sometimes you like to play Tunes. Sometimes it's cool to see that. Alright, he's going to tag me once, and now he's just going to have these monsters out there. We all know Tunes. I love Tunes just as much as anyone else. It's a very fun deck to play. The card art is truly incredible. This is full combo, Mimicry, so that's always neat. Tracer's going to be dead in my hand, but considering all these other cards I have, yeah, it's probably not the end of the world. For a while, I was actually playing the Utopia double package. As you'll see here, it's going to win me the duel, which, yeah, I don't know, but it is an extra brick in the deck, and this is one of the replays I say for like theory purposes. Also, I love this card art of Utopia. That is so sick. I don't know. I think this is coming out soon, but yeah, this used to be like a staple in my Raidraptor deck. And I've been experimenting with it recently, although I don't think it's going to make my final build personally. Alright, so this person who's going to domain block me, most likely, we'll see how I'm able to get through it. Kaijus. I've taken Kaijus out the deck, and I'm like, well, I would have lost this duel if it wasn't for the Kaiju, so maybe you sided in, I'm not sure, but of course I'm going to have, like, some really nice plays here. Alright, so I can go ahead and pop this, pop the field spell, go into a 4, and I get a free special summon with a Strangle Lanius, I get a free special summon with a Pain Lanius, and yeah, I don't think there's going to be a next turn, more than likely. We'll see what monster I end up going into, although it's probably just a bunch of summons. That's probably all I'll go into. Yeah, I mean, just look at all these, like, it's crazy how they're able to storm the field like this. And I could probably still go into a Borreload Savage Dragon, to be honest with you. I'll pop the Kaiju, although I'm not sure that's the right decision, because if he just normal summons, well, if he normal summons, I just have to, you know, chain Magic Force to pop and go into Requiem. And IP Masquerade is another one of those cards that I've kind of like not gone into recently. You know, Satellite Cannon is also another option. I'm kind of showing a broad range of this deck. But, you know, more of the normal stuff was like at the beginning. We'll keep going along here. This obviously can be chained multiple times to make sure this attack goes to 0. It's actually a pretty decent effect. It pops all back row too, which is great. Here's Invoked. And yeah, this is one of the Utopia builds. And like, this is kind of like the price that you pay, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It's going to activate Droll and Lockbird. Totally fine. Because, yep, that's why I play Crossout Designator. That's why I've like completely changed the deck to kind of fit my new playstyle. Alright, Tracer can come down. Then I can pop that, go into the Recharger. And I already had the Extender in my hand, so which is really nice. It's a free special. That's a free special. I can go into Ystrix. Ystrix is going to special on a 4 Mimicry, so I can get the Nest. You know, sending that Mimicry Lanius. Get the Soul Shave Force. I'll probably go into the Vampire Exceed monster, if I'm not mistaken. Ancient Cloak can search me Boots. Boots can go there. I can activate Strangle. And go into Verde Anaconda. So a little wonky, because there was a time where I actually took out the Vampire Exceed monster just to see if I could make it through. And technically, this is still a pretty decent board, especially because I'm going to be able to pop all of his back row, which may end up coming in handy, plus the Omni Negate, plus the Fog Blade. So this isn't the best end board in the world, but the Disruption is still actually very good. I showed that one, so we'll go into that Synchro deck. So yeah, I guess this was a match. Seeing Red Eyes Fusion in your opening is not good, but considering all the other cards in my hand, it ended up working out pretty darn well. So there goes the Droll, which is not good. However, I'm at least going to be able to go into one form Disruption, and that's going to be the Borreload Savage Dragon. I also have the Infinite Impermanence, plus the follow-up with Red Eyes Fusion. If I can survive this turn off of 2 negates, then, you know, obviously I'm going to just go ahead and win this duel far out. Or if I, you know, get a rank 4 that I can summon, I may go into some Raid Raptor stuff to pop some cards. But otherwise, my fail-safe here is going to be the Red Eyes Fusion. Of course, he has no idea that I have it. And you always want to negate the Junk Speeder. It's like a plus, 60,000 in card advantage. He's going to go ahead and attack over the Borreload Savage Dragon, use the effect and negate and destroy. He's going to, you know, basically looking pretty decent, although there we go. There comes the Red Eyes Fusion. While being a brick, technically, it definitely does some really cool stuff. So he's going to negate that the first time, can't be destroyed, and I'll go ahead and destroy it the second time, attack over this, and set the Called by the Grave, which is decent. Top deck's an evenly matched, even though I think he was, I guess he was going second this time, so yeah. I can kind of understand that, but the Draw and Lockbird's not doing anything. Synchro Overtake, I'm not sure what's going on there. He's gonna go ahead and try to search, you know, the Junk Synchron. I already know he only has one card left in hand, nothing engraved. I'm gonna go ahead and negate that before he can go into any of his plays, and there we go. I've won the duel. This is like the new Umi stuff. It's pretty decent to look at. I'm going second again, so I showed you a little bit of diversity. Of course, you want to go first with this deck because of how good the end boards are, but you know, the way that it's structured now, like being able to special summon so many times, like you're more well equipped to, you know, fight through some disruption. And he's got double, totally awesome. I'll go ahead and Foolish Barrel the Mimicry, search, keep special summoning because I do have this quick launch, which is going to come in handy. Search another card. Go into Heal Eagle. Here we go. Like, let's see where he ends up using his disruption. There we go. There comes the first one, which is okay. Still has another one. I'll go ahead and activate quick launch. Doesn't do anything in response. I'm going to search the boot sector launch. And this is kind of where I like have him to a certain point, because if he were to like negate that, I could just activate boot sector and he controls more monsters than me, so I can kind of make up that difference. All right, he's going to go ahead and negate the Borreload Savage Dragon and take that. I'll go into Verde Anaconda, Dragoon. There's my safety net. Look at all of that. Like, that is really, really good. So he's going to, take a lot of burn damage here. And I'm also going to be able to attack into something, which is going to be his Omni Negate. I can go ahead. Well, I don't know why I did that. That was just dumb of me. How does that sound? All right, so he's going to go ahead and attempt to send Umi. I will negate that. This can't get over my Dragoon. Neither can that too. So, okay, he goes for the Zeus. That makes sense. He's probably he's going to have to do the send effect, or else well, I guess he has multiple pops, so he can go through it. But yeah, it's not a negate. So, like, he needed to do that before the end of the turn, because I just kind of like, I'm dying, and I still am able to, like, kind of kill him from the end. Just, like, shoot him from the graveyard, basically, which is pretty funny. And here is Zombies. Look at this opening. It's so good. I can chain off of a lore. That way, I don't draw into it. I'll go ahead and banish the Pain Lanius. And I haven't normal summoned yet, so this is what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to add the Tracer back to my hand. I'm going to normal summon it. That way, Kagetoke goes off too. And then I give myself the 3, rank 4s that I need. So you got to get a little creative. You got to be pretty comfortable with the deck. But yeah, that's not the most complicated thing in the world, of course. But yeah, pretty cool interaction when you think about it. And I have like one more monster than I need, which normally comes up into the Borreload Savage negate. Like later on, like that you need on the board. We'll see. Still in the darks here so far. All right, there goes the Rusty effect. Cloaks, and boots. We all know this little combo. There we go. And this is going to go into, yeah. I still think this card is pretty good, to be honest with you, especially with what it does with extenders. There we go. There goes the Borreload Savage Dragon. That can go into, a Verde Anaconda, which is really cool. And also, like, if you think about it this way, like, you can also just, like, this is a Dark Exceed monster. You can use Phantom Knight's Rank Up Force to go into, like, Ultimate Falcon. If I had played my zones better, which I obviously did not here, you could do a lot of really, really, really cool stuff. Like, yeah, like, if I had put this here, this would have Ultimate Falcon pop one of these back row. But, having an unaffected monster, having 2 Omni Negates, like, yeah, you're just pretty much not going to lose. There we go, and that's the end of the duel. So that was, like, super, super fun. And last but not least, another random deck. It's also Phantasm, I suppose, so sure, why not? Not the going second deck, so the advantage clearly goes to me here as long as I can make my combos happen. But yeah, certainly more than enough here. Although it is a little wonky. Opening Ancient Cloak is really not that great. Boots is fine, because Boots is eventually going to free special summon itself anyways. Yeah, but there's like really nothing you can do about it. It's only good in the graveyard. Unfortunately, you don't have to discard anything during any part of your Raidraptor combos. Alrighty, I go there, and it's nice because I haven't locked myself into darks because of Rokket Tracer or the Strangle Lanius yet. It's certainly going to help me. Alright, there goes the Rebellion. I'm going to set the cards again. Like, I can't send Boots, or I already sent Boots because I couldn't have Cloak, and I already special summoned the Raider's Wing and all that good stuff. But yeah, the Call by the Grave, I'm going to be able to pop a card. There's a monster to get. I actually didn't mean to set both of these. I would not recommend doing that because of, instead of like Lightning Storm, you want to keep that card in your hand and all that. So, but yeah, that was a pretty decent look at this like Rokket Raidraptor rank 4 deck. I think it's really good. I think it's the best form of Raidraptors that I've ever had. But yeah, other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.